is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of The Real. I'm your host, BG, with my lovely co-host, Miss Maddie Cruz. How you doing today, girl?
Hey, good. Ready and excited for this topic. Hot topic.
Welcome to another episode of The Real. I am your host, BG, with the lovely Mary Cruz in the building. How are you guys doing today? Make sure you guys hit that like on the way in. That'll be much appreciated. How you doing today, Mary?
Good, good. Ready for this hot topic.
Yeah, gotta get the hot topics. So today I decided, oh, shout out to Gotta Z. She had some issues, so she won't be with us today, but we got our prayers out for her. Today I want to talk about babies. You know, I've seen a lot of babies, a lot of people being pregnant around this time of the year. You know, you see a lot of people pregnant on TV and whatnot. And I just wanted to talk about babies because, you know, we all have kids and we love our little babies. And, you know, for some of you first time parents, you know, I talked to a lot of first time parents, you know, they're really scared, they're nervous, you know, they're worried about what's gonna happen, how life's gonna be after, you know, having their first kid. So I thought we'd get on here and talk about it a little bit, you know, maybe share our experiences of having our first and any one of our kids, like for my example. But, you know, see what we can talk about today.
Sounds good. Well, I'm gonna let you start. How's your experience when you became a father for the first time, especially you being a dude, a man? Like I know an experience for a woman and a man is different because us like women, we carry the baby, and you
Mhm.
guys like men, are just like you guys kind of like can imagine it, but you guys don't know. We already know it because we have it inside of us for the 9 months. You guys have to just adapt to the idea that it's coming. You know what I mean? So it's a different experience. So that's what I want to hear from you, being a man. What's your first thought when you knew you were gonna become a father for the first time?
Well, for me, it was a little different. Like I've kind of planned out my kid having days. You know, I had friends that had babies in high school. You know, right out of high school, and it's like at that time in my life, I was going through a conversion where it's just like I just didn't want any kids. So, you know, I used as many preventions as possible. You know, I try to
So
be
you
around.
were saying that you were like ready for the baby, wanted the baby, and you already was picturing yourself being a father.
Yeah, yeah, because I was always uncle. I was always my nieces and nephews' favorite uncle, so that was always a plus. And I was just like, you know, at that time, you know, I played semi-pro football. You know, I was in movies. I was just like living the dream, I guess you'd call it. You know, in Santa Barbara, California, and it was just one of the things where I was just like, you know, I don't want a kid right now. You know, like that's cool. You know, I want to try to keep experiencing, meeting new people, trying new things. You know, developing, figuring out what I like, who I am, and whatnot. So then you know, I probably didn't have that real baby itch till about 25, 26 years old. Then I was in a relationship with my ex-wife at the time, and we wanted kids, but we love to have fun. So we'd always be having fun. Like we really wanted kids, and we found out she couldn't have kids at that time.
Oh
So, you
wow.
know, it was like one of them things where you're like, okay, now, you know, the relationship kind of turned towards that's what you wanted was kids. So, you know, when you have that little battle going back and forth, you know, we worked through it. It was all right.
So
But
the first time that you found out that she was pregnant, what was your first thought, especially you planning it for? Like what came through your head? Like, oh hell yeah, I'm excited. Oh,
yes,
I'm gonna name her,
yeah,
him, like this.
I was like, I can't wait for my boy to get out. Woo!
Do you already knew it was the boy, or you
No, it
wanted a
was not
boy
a
to be
boy.
the
It
first
was not a
son?
boy. It was not a boy. It was very sad. It wasn't a boy. You know, I waited. I wanted a boy first, and who knows if I would have had a boy first, who knows how many kids I would have right now. You know, but I've always wanted a lot of kids. But you know, you at that point, maybe not half right now. I would say, who knows how many kids I would have had around that same time, because there's a couple of them every 2 years they're popping out at that time. But you
I have
know,
a question about that because I don't know, you're a man, so I want to know about your point of view. A lot of men, why do they always want their kid, the first kid, to be a boy? Why? It's rare the man that wants a little girl to be the first born. You know what I mean? But they mostly all the guys, oh no, I want a son. Why?
there's two good reasons I can start out with. One being you want a little you. You know, whatever you didn't do, whatever you wish you know, you maybe fell a little short in, you want to make sure that they're ready to do it and not fall short in those same areas, for one. And for two
Okay.
is usually you're having it with a beautiful woman, so you don't want another one of those out there where you have to worry about shooting somebody or going to jail. So it's kind of like a double standard there, where you just kind of want that boy first. At least he can be the oldest, you know,
The
watch
protector.
his protector, so I don't have to go to jail. Maybe he'll go to jail and I'll bail him out,
Ay,
but
my
I
God.
wouldn't have to go to jail myself.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
It makes
So
sense. You know, it makes sense.
Eric says, "Thank you for this episode. Got first kid coming at the end of this month. Hey, congratulations, Eric. Man, hopefully it will be by the 22nd. It is Leo season. You know, all the greats were born in August and late July. So hopefully it comes out before the 22nd. He can be part of the Leo family, because my birthday's next Tuesday. My daughter's is this Sunday, and there's just a whole bunch of Leos in my family. So we I love them Leos.
But yeah, so yeah, so like I said, what was your first expression when you found out she was pregnant, or the first time when you got to hear your baby cry or get to hold him or her or him,
Her?
whatever it was? What was your, you know, your feeling like being a father for the first time?
I was at that time. I was just happy, like it's finally here. Like I said with my ex at the time, like we tried to have them, couldn't have them, you know. And luckily, she's had them since then. So congratulations to her. But yeah, man, it was just like wow, the time feel I'm finally here. You know, it's a girl, but still my girl. You know, when you see her come out and she looks like you just like, oh wow, still still kind of feel some of the same, you know, emotions in terms of that matter. All my kids definitely got the birthmark. Whenever they came out, you knew it was mine right off the jump. There was no,
But you know something, every girl is a daddy's little girl. So I heard all the little girls are always so attached and overprotected and super lovable with their dad. So that's a good privilege to have a little girl. You know, you experience true love.
yeah. So after that, you know, the ride started. You know, I love kids. You know, I would say one of the best parts about being a first time dad was, you know, besides it was finally happening, because like I said, I kind of, you know, waited to have it, and then, you know, that was a couple years after I wanted it before I actually did get my first one. So it was really exciting times. But I would say, like, you know, it was easier because I kind of planned it that way. You know, like I kind of,
So you already had was planting an idea how to feel, just waiting for the moment to happen. Just
yeah.
more, you were feeling more excited than anything because you wanted to meet the baby already.
Yes, yes, yes. So I was excited the first time holding them. I'm never a big fan of changing diapers. You know, like I said, I had a lot of nieces and nephews that I got to do that with. I'm not the fan there, but in terms of the first time holding her, you know, having that moment with her where you got to bond on, like, wow, I finally brought something into this world. You know, that was pretty awesome. And yeah, man. They say the girls, hey Eric, they say that girls come for all the ladies' men's out there. They end up with a girls first because they kind of center you, you know, bring you down to earth and let you start realizing that you can't be certain ways with the women. So, um, it was awesome, man. It was a blessing, you know. But the sad part was I wanted a boy. We ended up getting pregnant like a year later, and I wanted a boy then, and it was a girl. And I got so mad, I stormed out the doctor's office as soon as I found
Is
out.
every pregnancy of all the kids that you have, it's like what different reaction, feelings, like was it different every pregnancy for you, like a father? Because I know for a woman it is, like every pregnancy it is, but for a man, it's a different feeling.
How was your? Well, I would say yeah. Like the first two, I won a boy, so that obviously was definitely a different feeling. My third one finally got a boy. That was awesome, and then that just kind of changed the game. The first was kind of weird because your first kid gets spoiled by all the family members. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They get spoiled by you, your significant other, family members on both sides of the family because especially if it's you guys' first. For me, it was our both of our sides of the family, our first kid together. So it was like one of them things where like everybody on both sides was just so happy and so motivated. By the time you get down the line, like two or three, it's like now you just got another baby. Like not everybody's as excited. You know what I'm saying? The first one seems to got a lot more, than the rest of them throughout the time, just because more people are more interested in it. When you start having kids every 2 years, it's like okay, I've been every it seems like every year I'm going to another baby shower. I'm going to another, So some people will kind of drop out in that category in terms
So
of
how many kids do you have right now?
that's blood. I got five.
Okay, so from the first to the number five, what made the difference to the number five to the first one? Like, do
They're
you were
all
like, oh,
different.
another one?
They're all different.
It's
They're
different
all
feeling.
different. But that's me too. Like I'm a type of person that I only keep the same. I mean, I only keep the same, relationship one on one with everybody. That doesn't even exclude my kids. Between my baby moms and my kids, like we have each one of my individual kids, we kind of have our own relationship. I like to keep it that way where it's just like, you know, we bond, we like the things that we like about each other, and then, we don't really try to make, some parents like kind of classify them all the same, like kind of treat them all the same, and some of them people need different needs than the other one. Some of them like to be more, motivated. Some of them are motivated enough. Like you kind of see a little bit. Each kid is kind of like 50-50. I say most babies are 50-50 babies, where they have one, the mother, have the father. And then it's just about what half is each baby going to have. You know what I'm saying? Like one might look more like the mom and less like the dad, or vice versa. Or one might act more like the mom and less like the dad. Like one, you know what I'm saying? Like each one of them come with their own set of, you know,
Yeah,
skills, but it's always usually 50-50 down the middle, in terms of like how much they took from each parent. So, that's why I always say like it's always good to really know your partner when you're having these kids because you might not know certain things. You know about yourself, but when the little guys come out, man, you see yourself, but then you're like, what is that other side? And if you don't know your partner at that time, you might be shocked to find out some of those other sides.
that's true. That's so
Mhm.
true.
What about you and your little one, your first one? How was it? What was the experience?
Um,
For you?
it was kind of planted, but it was unexpected. And when I found out, I couldn't believe it because I thought that I couldn't have babies myself.
Yeah,
So when it happened, well, I was like surprised, shocked. I was super happy. I was 19, going to 20. So my daughter was birth like
yeah.
a month after my birthday. So she's from June.
Okay.
And yeah, I was super happy because, I mean, I always wanted a boy first. I don't know why. I guess I'm the first woman that wants a boy first. Because normally
Girl,
girls want, oh, I want a
girls
little.
don't. I found out girls don't like girls first. You know,
Really?
most girls in general, like I've heard of that. You're not the first I've heard. Like a lot of girls don't like, you know, girls first because of the maintenance, and it's not like the same like with the guys. Guys want to create another you, and girls like, no, I don't want to create another me. I know how much what kind of attitude
No,
I got. I don't
I
want to deal
isn't
with none
that.
of that.
I don't know. I always picture myself that I would be with a son. I never pictured myself with a daughter. It maybe it's not like because always gonna be another me, because I would love to have a daughter first. If you make me choose, it was perfect because I got to dress her up. I got to do little things like if I'm playing doll again, playing with her, everything. So I was really excited and I was happy. But I always wanted a son first for whatever reason. I don't know why. Because I always see myself with a little boy, being protected over his mama. He's
And who did he
a
look like
mama's
more, the mama
boy.
or the daddy? Who did he look like more, the mama or the daddy?
Huh?
I said, who would it have looked like more, the mama or the daddy, when you seen this vision of your son?
For my first kid,
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know, honestly. Like I don't know. We had good genes, so it wouldn't matter. For real, to tell you the truth, I wouldn't not care who it looked because in that time that my partner had good genes. So it wouldn't be a winner no matter what size they picked, you know. So it would be all good.
Yeah, you definitely gotta watch out for that one, man. That's funny. Um, it's funny you said that too because like with my son, I want when you picture your first son. When I finally did find out it was a boy, I was like, yes, finally got my boy. Third time's a charm. I'm happy. I'm excited. To get out there. And when he came out, that boy didn't look nothing like me, like zero
Mhm.
percent like me at all.
And
Just
that's crazy because a lot of people, when they are gonna expecting a baby, they always, I don't know if you noticed, they be like, "What name are we gonna name it? What if it doesn't even match with his name? What if he doesn't look like this? What if he looks like both of us? What if he has this?" Like you already put in like a whole puzzle how you want it to look. You want him to be like with the curly hair, with the big eyes, big lips, dimples. Oh no, never mind. Let's put him like that, straight hair with you already like Mr. Potato, doing the whole
yeah,
Mr. Potato shit. And it don't end up being like you want to, it end up being like something else.
yes, sir. Yeah, it's crazy. You do, but for me, it's just like you had two girls already, so it's like you already know what they look like. Like one of my girls look more like me than the other. You know what I'm saying? Like one looks more like her mom. Actually, my first one more 50-50 baby. I'll go back to the 50-50 baby because she looks more like her mom, but she looks like me too.
Yeah,
So
that's how my daughter is. My
perfect
daughter
mix.
looks like me, but looks like the father. She looks in between like us,
Yeah,
But sometimes like people don't know her father, so when they see her with me, they say, "Oh, she looks like you." But when she's with the father, like, "Oh, she looks like you." You know what I mean?
yeah.
So she has a little bit of both.
But my second one, she came out looking more like me. Like everybody thinks
Mm.
she's a little bit darker. She looks more like me. You know what I'm saying? Like she's kind of acts more like me a little bit, but my she has like her mom's body. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like she looks like me, but she still got the mom body for that 50%. But my
Yeah.
boy looks just like the mom. Like now he's 8, and I would say now if you take a picture of us, you know what I'm saying, together, he looks like me. But
And sometimes even if you
he
don't
has
think so,
hazel eyes, curly hair, hazel eyes, light skinned. So imagine a light skinned, hazel eyed me. Like that's the part that
even
never.
if you don't think so, the kids that don't look like you now, they used to look like you when you were little. I don't know if you noticed
I
that a lot
noticed
of
they go
kids
back
that
and
don't look
forth.
like the parents right now, sometimes they resemble them when they were little.
Yeah, I noticed they go back and forth. Like as they get older, like the first 2 years, he looked nothing like me. Like I was hesitant to even believe that was my baby. Like what? I knew it was mine, but in your head, you're like, he doesn't look nothing like me, like 0%. Like he's named after me, so that's cool, but he doesn't look
But
a
you don't look like me.
time like me at all, man. And like, when you see, you think of it when you're God, you think about, your son, you guys looking exactly alike, cause me and my dad, right? I'm a junior. So me and my dad, whether I like it or not, we look exactly alike. We're goddamn twins. Like we don't
Oh,
even get along
really?
like that, like we should, you know what I'm saying? But we are identical. Like he's just older. That's the only difference. Like if you were to try to think of a difference, and my new son does look just like my dad more than me because he does have that older look to him. But other than that, like yeah, me and my dad were like identical. So I was expecting the same thing, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
you know,
I don't know because I look like my mom and my dad together. So, like, I don't even know. I look like both of them,
both of them?
so like
What
both.
would
They
what
say
would
sometimes that I look more like my mom, but then they say that I look like my dad. And then some people say that I look like my grandma from my dad's side. So I don't know what the fuck I look like. I guess a chameleon. Chameleon that
who do you think you look the most like?
like my mom.
I bet, right? Because
I look like my
you look
mom.
like a
And
woman, and
sometimes,
I doubt you.
it's crazy
Because some
because
people look like their dad, but you look like your mom, so I can see you believing that you
no,
look
because my dad,
like.
I say my dad is attracted. So my dad looks like me. I don't know. I mean, one of these days when we're right there, I'm gonna put my pictures of my dad and my mom. I just don't have them
Do
right
they
here with
look
me.
alike?
With the attitude and the persona, like my mom.
No,
But
do they
the
look alike?
my face, like I think like look like both. I
Really?
think I look like both.
And they're both Hispanic.
Latinos, both of them.
Yes. Same.
My mom is half Filipino though.
Ah, so
Yes,
Spanish, Filipino, and your dad just full Spanish,
Puerto Rican. My dad is full Puerto
Puerto
Rican.
Rican. So
Yes.
what's your mom? Puerto Rican and
My
Filipino?
mom is Mexican and Filipino.
Oh, so you got three in you. You got
Yes.
the Filipino, the Mexican, and the Puerto Rican. Because Mexicans, Puerto Ricans not the same. You know.
No, they're not. And actually,
Mhm.
to tell you the truth, I'm 50% Puerto Rican, 25 percent Filipino, and 25% Mexican.
Which one do you have more family members in?
Alive?
You,
Alive, I would say both. They goes equally, but both of my grandparents are dead, like from my mom and dad's side. My grandparents are
do you
both
have
dead.
like some of your Filipino family too? You know that are all Filipino type thing.
No, I really don't. I really like don't know a lot of family from my dad, to tell you the truth, because they're
Would
all
you want
spread
it?
out. They're in New York, then at ATL, then in Utah. They're all over the place. So I really don't know them like that. I
Like,
grew
would
up
you want to
more, and
meet
I was
some of your
raised more by
family
my
members
mom's
from the
family.
Philippines? Would you want
Huh?
to meet some of your family members from the Philippines?
So what was that?
I said, would you want to meet some of your family members from the Philippines? Just like,
Yeah,
I
to
was
know the
thinking about that. Like, if
culture,
you have multiple different races, each one of them have their own brand, and families, that kind of
different
diverse.
cultures.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cultures. Like, have
I
you
would
ever
want to
interested in
know
their
my
culture?
family from my mom because it's different culture. I would want to be more my Puerto Rican side. I love my race, to tell you the truth. Like I like my mix.
It's
I
good to
think
be
it's a pretty good
mixed,
mix.
you know?
But I
Here we
have a
go.
question for you.
Hold on.
But it was for
Let's
both
get
of
the.
us. It says, Maricruz, what feature would you like to see in your son or daughter? What I You want me to answer first?
Yeah, go ahead.
The future that I would want to see my kids, my daughter, my son, is to be successful and to be a better version of me and my husband. That's what I want to see my kids, like to be a better person, a better, when it comes to his career, a better athlete, a better everything, like a better version of us.
What about looks?
Looks, I want a me. I want another little, like, cause my
Do you
daughter looks
want
like
a
me, but
girl
she
that
doesn't
looks
really look
like
like me like
you,
that.
or do you want to be like, hey, I'm the only one who look like this,
No, I really, honestly, just
or do
said
you
I
want
want
the
a
little
son
girl to
to
be
have my
like the
life.
better version of you?
No, I want a son. I'm still with that. I want a son. I already told my husband, you gotta make sure that the next one is a fucking boy. I don't give a fuck when you're gonna do it. I want a son. And I want my son to look like
You
me.
can't want it though. You can't want it because when you want it, that's when it don't happen.
That's
Trust
when it
me,
doesn't happen.
that's when it doesn't happen.
And it's crazy because I only have one brother, right? And he's older than me. He's 7 years older than me. And my brother has all the boys. He has three boys, and he wanted the daughter. And I wanted the son, and I got the daughter. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
And one of his sons look exactly like me. It would look
Wow,
like he's my son.
wow.
That's crazy. But that's what happens, no? When you have kids, sometimes your kids resemble like your grandparents, your
Yeah,
brothers, your cousins. It's like it brings them back, no?
my sisters and like, because my first she was black and white mixed. You know,
Oh, okay.
so my dad has, I'm the oldest, and he has, another son with a black lady, and then he had another son with a El Salvadorian. So my two brothers and sister with the El Salvadorian, like they look mixed for sure. Like they're both mixed. You see the Spanish in them, you see the black in them, but you definitely see the Spanish in them. But my
Okay.
daughters look like my baby sister, like for real, for real. Like
Mm,
look just like her. Like if my brother in my he's like the third oldest out of us, out of my dad's five. My third brother and my sister, if they had my kids, people has already thought that they were their kids, not my kids.
That's
That's
crazy.
That's how much they look like them and not me. Like, and we didn't even know like we're from Cali, so we it really took to being here in Alabama with them together to really see it and like whoa, and then everybody's like when they take them to the store, like we were all three and be in the store, like me, my sister, and my kid, and they're like, oh, that's your daughter. I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, not you, her. Like that's your daughter. Like I'm like, no, that's like what are you talking about? Like,
That, yeah, that's what happened. And sometimes too, when you let like somebody from your family, your kids end up looking like them.
yeah, yeah, it's crazy. I think that's what my son now looks like my dad. Like, because like I said, I look like my dad, but when I go to my dad's house and my dad's holding my son, and you look in their face, like they look like, what I'm saying, like they're twins. Like he looks like me, but when I see him, when I'm holding him and then, like we're looking in the mirror, he looks like me. But when my dad's holding him, it looks like that's his son, not my son. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that much of a difference where you can really tell that he got all my dad's looks for sure. But I think
Will
as
you
the
be those
more
type?
you
I
get,
have a question. Are you those type of men that when a woman is pregnant, you be over there talking to the baby in the stomach, putting music in their stomach, singing to the baby, or you will be like, ah,
you got to, it's that early intervention with your kid. For first time dads out there, talk to them. Because you got to realize the first 2 years of their life, really, it's about mom. Mom got the boobies, mom got the food supply. They might hang out with you for a little bit and be like, hey, what's up? But then they gone. They want the booby supply. They want to sleep. They want to do that kind of stuff. So it's
and
like,
that's true what you say because when I was pregnant from my daughter, my baby daddy at the time used to put me like the headphones in my belly, and he would put Michael Jackson songs. And to tell you the truth, my daughter now she loves Michael Jackson music to this day. When she would cry when she was a baby, to calm her down, we would put her Michael Jackson songs, and she would just mellow down.
that's crazy because,
Yeah,
and you think about it too, Michael's the king of pop, but he is also one of the best dancers in the world.
yeah, performance.
And look what you do. Look what your
Exactly,
specialty is.
exactly,
So you need to go thank your pappy. Because not a lot of pappies get that respect and love. Thanks for pappy for putting them headphones on the belly at that time.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. And a lot of people, a lot of fathers connect with the babies like that, because the mothers, like I said, they have the baby in their belly, but a father don't have that connection that a mother does. But also, I feel like if the dad will be like trying to talk to the baby, so that because the baby's here, right?
Oh
So if
yeah,
you try to talk so they can know your voice, they will start getting used to you, right?
hmm
Automatically, no?
yeah, that's true. You want all sounds and all touch, all like I said, like they spend a lot of time with the mom. Like my daughter, for instance, she's about to be one this Sunday. Shout out to her, Leo Gang in the building. Um, and she recently just started like hanging out with me. Like she used to give me 5 minutes a night. 5 minutes.
Exactly. Like Drew Johnson said, I
Yeah.
sang to both of my kids. I sing them to sleep. I sing them to sleep. And that's what I'm saying. That has to put a connection to the baby, like some way or some other. Because the mother has automatic connection with the baby. Because
Yeah.
the breastfeeding, having them in their stomach, they're always with the mother at the beginning of the first months, but the father is always providing in and out, not really all day every day. But if you take the time to bond with them, like put them in sleep, sing, read a story, just touch them, kiss them, I don't know, I feel like that's another type of bond that a man should do with their kids, and take the time to do with their kids.
Yeah. But I'll also say that, I got some that like the kids, especially after they get past the nursing stage, they love daddy more. Not saying they love either parent more, but they do. That's when they're all about daddy. When they're able to
But why you
walk,
say that?
because I'm a fun guy. They used to always call me the Disney dad. I get, been told I'm the Disney dad. I work a lot, so when I am hanging out with them, I just want to have fun and do something cool. Take them somewhere cool, and enjoy our time. So it's like, the women usually when I'm at work, they're dealing with all the, crying
Yeah.
and changing diapers and attitudes, and so I don't really see that much of that side of it. But I do
Yeah.
see this, when I am there, it's like I'm ready and I'm like, yes, what I'm saying, let's have some fun, let's do something cool, let's play some games, let's do something, productive to make sure that you don't forget about daddy, because daddy's here for you. Daddy's here for you.
Yeah.
What was like the
Mhm.
rough? What was like the big, one of the biggest shocks when you first was found out you were having a baby? Like, was it like, okay, now it's happening?
Scared, excited,
Were you
panic.
scared? Like,
Yeah.
did you? Was
Well,
it
my
a?
first
Was
reaction
it a
was super excited that I couldn't believe that I was pregnant, even though I already I found out when I was 2 months and a half pregnant,
did you?
and
So
I
did you
couldn't believe
party?
it.
Were you partying at that time in your life? Like,
No, because I moved in fast with my baby daddy. I was 14, and my baby daddy was 16. So when I got pregnant, like it could have happened more sooner, but it didn't. So it's not that I was not expecting it. I just let it happen when it happened. And when it happened, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't assimilate yet and put it in my head that I was pregnant. Because it was not showing. You know what I mean? And I did me like 7 pregnancy tests and they all came negative.
what?
But I went to the hospital because I was starting to go to the gym and everything else, and I started spotting. So I was having bad cramping and all kinds of fucking bad symptoms, and I started bleeding. But I thought it was my period. But the symptoms that I was having was like, like a woman when you're pregnant, you get breast, your breast is sensitive.
Did you eat
Um,
a lot?
uh,
Did you eat a lot?
No, I'm gonna go there. So
Okay.
I didn't know I was pregnant, right? So I end up going to make an appointment with my doctor, and they end up telling me because I look young. They thought I was more younger than I looked. They thought I was like 16, 17 still at the time.
Wow.
So they told me that I was in trouble, and I was like, for what? And they say because the test came positive, and I was like, oh, I froze for a minute. I was like, you lying? No, you lying? And he showed me the pregnancy test, because they did blood tests. That's how they found out because they did the blood test.
Hmm.
And I was like, no, I can't believe it that you guys are lying, because I was so much wanted it, but I was just tired of thinking it to want it because it was not happening because I was stressing my body. Apparently, that's what makes you not become pregnant. When you so
Yeah,
much want it so bad, you stressing your body even if you don't think you're stressing the body, and it doesn't happen.
that's
So
right.
yeah, I went to the next door to the pharmacy. I waited for my baby daddy to pick me up from the doctor. I went to get like the bottle,
Hmm.
and because that's the way I told him that I was pregnant. I went to get a bottle for a baby,
Hmm.
and a chupi. I don't know how you guys call it, a pacifier, the
That's
chupi
fire.
thing. Uh huh. And he went to pick me up, and I gave it to him, and he's like, "What is this?" And I said, "I don't know. Open it up, because I put it in the bag." And he's like, "What is it?" He's just like trying to act dumb and stuff. I'm like, "What is it? What it looks like?"
Why you
And
give me a
he's
bottle
like,
for?
"You fucking with me?" And I'm like, "No, I am pregnant for real." And I'm like, "I'm apparently 2 months and a half." He's like, "What? Hell yeah!" And then I went to tell my mom. My mom couldn't believe it neither, and I couldn't
How
believe it.
was
I was
that?
just
How was
looking at
that?
my stomach all the time. And then after a
Not to
week,
cut you off, but how was that? Like, how was your parents and like family reaction towards that? Since we're talking
they
about
couldn't
it,
believe it. They said that I
yeah,
was lying. They're like, "No, you're lying." Because everybody thinks that I'm superficial. Like I'm a person that I would not want to mess up my body. I look not for real. That's fucked up. They're like, "Nah, you're lying. You're fucking with me." You know. And no, I told them yes, I was. And like I said, my belly was not showing until they told me I was pregnant. My belly started popping out.
mm,
Yeah, and the doctor says that happens to a lot of women, that the
yeah,
baby
like
hides in the back, and then they end up coming to the front.
okay,
That's what they say. And yeah, and then I like my whole pregnancy was not a lot of sickness because a lot of women has a lot of like
you didn't have
pregnancy
morning
sickness.
sickness.
I didn't got no throw ups, no morning sickness. The only thing that I would crave a lot was pizza
Which
Wings,
one? From where? Any pizza wing
anything that has
or
to do with pizza. It didn't really matter. So it will
pizza
be
wings?
pizza, extra pepperoni, wings, steak, anything that has to do with steak. I would love lettuce with salt and lemon. I don't know why.
You said with salt and lemon?
Yes,
Wow.
just lettuce. And then I would want milkshakes.
Girls are crazy with their cravings in terms of pregnancy. Like
Yeah.
they'll want
Um,
the weirdest stuff. Like you don't even like that. Why you want it? I don't want it. I want it now. Give it to me. Like, whoa, okay, calm down. I got you. I got you. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
every single day, like if they can, they're just like, go get me some of this. Go get me some of this, and it's like the same thing. Like, really? That's what all you want? Okay, cool. Like, all right.
That's so true. Even when I got birth, like when I birthed my baby, I didn't even know that I was gonna give birth because I fell asleep and I woke up because the water was wet. And I was like, damn, I peed myself, like what the fuck? And then so I went to the bathroom, I wiped myself and I changed, but I keep dripping. So I was like, and then you can tell it's a different liquid. It's not
Yeah,
like pee,
yeah.
and you can
Yeah,
because
it's
I touched it, like what the fuck? And for real. And then I
This
end up
is so
going to
funny.
the fucking house. I told my baby daddy, like, I think something's wrong because I thought I peed myself, but that thing still keeps coming, and I don't think this is okay.
You
So
weren't
they
feeling
rushed me to the
contractions
ER.
at that time. You weren't feeling them hard.
No, nothing.
What?
I was just wet.
It's weird.
So
Usually
they
that's what
rushed me
comes.
to
You
the
get wet, the
hospital.
contractions come.
Huh?
I said usually that's what happens. You get wet, the contractions come.
No, but normally a lot of women have contractions and it hurts them in
Oh, you didn't
pain.
have Braxton hits?
No, nothing. I was asleep. I woke up because I was wet and I thought that I peed myself. And no, it was not no pee. It was actually that my water broke.
Wow, that's crazy. So yours was like not very painful at all. You just kind
No,
of
wait. So then I went to the hospital and they did me like a lot of exams to make sure that it was nothing bad to see what was wrong with me because they didn't know yet that my water broke. So they put me some Q-tips inside my fucking private and all kinds of stuff. And my baby was a preemie. So that's why I
wow.
didn't even know it was time for me to birth my daughter because it was now her time to come out. Yeah, she was supposed to be born on July 4th. She was
July
born
4th
like a month before that,
in June.
in June 4th.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So then after that, they told me that I was gonna have the baby right there and then. That my water broke, and that they were gonna wait for me to start dilating.
Yeah.
And I was there 2 days trying to give birth because the baby couldn't calm down. And then I couldn't take the pains because then the pain started coming after like the whole day. The next day,
Epidural or no epidural?
they did because I didn't want it. I wanted to have it normal, and apparently I couldn't take the pain for a whole day. So they put me the upper. What is it?
Epidural.
Yes, and I guess I was allergic to it,
Oh wow.
and I started getting fever. So now they didn't let me have my daughter naturally because they said that my daughter was a preemie, and that my daughter was gonna be contagious. She was gonna get contaminated because she was about to come from natural. Like she was stuck in the thing.
The womb.
So I guess like when my daughter was born, they went to take me to emergency section. I had my daughter, but they couldn't let me have my daughter closer to me because of the fact that I still had fever. She was a preemie, and they didn't want me to have no type of contact with her. I didn't get to see my daughter like after 1 week to 2 weeks. I met my daughter through a picture.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
after 2 weeks,
Wow, that's
into
crazy.
my fever went away.
Did you have to stay at the hospital the whole 2 weeks
I
or?
stayed with the hospital, but then she still stayed like a whole week after that to make sure she was fine, develop and everything. But my daughter don't even look like a preemie. My daughter is taller than me, more developed than me. She's
What?
13 years old. She looks like she's 13 years old, but she looks like she's 15.
Wow, that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
cool though. As you think about those times, man, like that's why I was wondering with the mother, like, how was your thinking maybe like 2 months before you actually had her? Like, because I know you like, okay, I'm
I
excited, I
was not
want the
thinking
baby,
nothing. I was
but
like,
by
I'm
then, like
ready
your
to get
stomach
it
be
out.
pumped out.
I can't take this no more. You go, for real. You can't sleep sideways, upper, no way. You like practically
Why
sleeping
not?
sitting up. Like it's really
Well, you
like
can't sleep on your stomach. I know that probably, right? You have to sleep on either side or your back.
exactly. But then also, if you have a baby that is really like active inside of you, it's harder for you to even get any sleep because because there's some babies that are really super active, and my daughter was super active inside of me. Like she would be kicking, moving, like all kinds of shit. Like I rushed to the hospital like 3 times because she would squish my lungs that I couldn't even breathe. So when I went to the hospital, they told
Like
me
really
that when
can't breathe or just hard to breathe.
I couldn't breathe because she would be like putting a lot of pressure in my lungs.
Huh.
So I would go over there because I would get like breathing a panic attacks, I guess, because she couldn't let me breathe. So
Hmm.
they told me whenever she was like that, I had to massage my stomach to try to move her from place to place. Yeah, that was it. For me, it was not a good experience. I don't give a fuck.
I noticed that too, especially with the shorter girls, they kind of seem to have a little bit more of a
Complications.
situation because you're so small, like, and then like to you have something so big in your stomach. Like, were you showing a lot by then? Like, were your stomach like sick sticking out where you can totally tell? Were you big? Like bigger than
You
you
have to say
weighed?
some people have like a circle stomach, and some people have a watermelon stomach.
Which one you had?
I had the watermelon, the one that was like sticking out.
Don't my daughter look into girl. I don't think she will. Yeah, Drew, exactly. That's why you got the 9 sitting inside the room, just in case she does. That's my
What?
theory on it. He was like, that is what I worry about. Don't my daughter looking too grown.
Oh
I think
yeah,
she
that's
will.
really dangerous
Yeah,
because
that's why we want a daughter first, man.
nowadays all the girls are developed like crazy. More, they have more stuff than even us. And that's one thing that I tell my daughter. I do have talks with her, and I tell her that because she has a grown-ass body like a 15 years old, but a mentality of a 13 years old still, because she's
Yeah.
still a little girl. So when she's going to junior high, high school, the guys are going to look at her some type of way, and she still has innocence in her mind that she's
Uh-huh.
not going to know how to deal. And it does worry me sometimes, but I have talks with her, and I tell her, you gotta, don't let nobody touch your privates. Like I have that type of talks with her.
Mhm.
Um, don't let nobody like threaten you, whatever. You know how people want to manipulate little kids and stuff like that. And that's one thing it does worries me about my daughter, that she's really developed.
Like, so in that situation, like, how has it come to terms to like now we live in a different world? Before, like when we were growing up, there was no social media. Not like now and today where everybody wants to be on. I got kids TikToking and doing stuff. Like, what the hell's going on here? You regulate it, but at the same time, like how do you approach it being a mom? Like, you say your daughter, she's a little bit more developed. She looks like you, so obviously she must be a good looking girl. So how do you approach it when you are having those talks? Like in terms of like, do you let her do whatever she wants? Is she active like that where she wants to go
I
and
give
do
her the trust because I feel like the talks that you can tell when you talk to your kids that they're listening to you or they're just hearing you. You know what I mean? And I feel like the talk that I talk to my daughter, the way I have talked to her, I don't come aggressive to her. I don't come demanding. I come talking to her like a friend, like, this would happen if you do that. You're too little to be thinking about this right now. Your time is
it?
going to come, but right now, live stage by stage. Right now you're a little girl, so you have to just focus on being a little girl, having fun, you know, playing with your friends. But when you feel uncomfortable that people are, like I said, entering your bubble to the way is your body, they're trying to touch your body and you're not comfortable, or they pressure you to touch your body, then you should come and tell me, or you should handle it in a way that don't be talking to those people get no more,
Mm-hmm.
or punch them.
Punch him, right? Kick him in the
Sit
nuts.
down.
Kick him in the nuts. That's
Yeah.
that's the guy worst thing. Yeah, but what about like in terms of like if she was like, "Hey, mom," I want to be on social media. I want to be the next social media star. I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be
You know something? Now
TikToker.
that you talk
What I'm
about
saying? I want
that,
1 million followers and subscribers.
but
At
now
an
that you're
early
talking
age, and not
about
even
now
too
that
long.
you're talking about that right now, the worst internet stuff that's going on for kids underage right now is the TikTok.
Hmm.
That's the big deal for all the TikTokers, for all the 15, 13, 11 years old kids, TikTok. And honestly, there's predators in that,
Uh-huh.
you know. And I feel like I just tell her to be careful, to don't be messaging these people. That I make sure that her phone is always checked, you know. And she has trust, but then she also has like a she's supervised
Yeah.
at all times.
Always supervise, codes, access, parents, they have all these apps today where you can have access to your kid's phone. Make sure you guys are using that if you do got a kid in that age frame where they're on there. I talked to my, you know, kids' mother all the time. Like make sure you're watching, make sure you're checking it out. You know, um, I'm checking it out when they're with me, and you need to do the same thing when they're with you because like you never know what these guys are doing on there. And like you
Exactly.
said, there's a lot of predators out there. They go on all these little kid sites trying to be a kid, acting like they're kids and whatnot, building these relationships with these kids. To the point where they feel safe. And that the worst thing is a kid's mind. They're really naive. You say the right thing, you might get them to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that's not cool at all. That is
Exactly.
one thing. Like we can tell them not to be on it, but guess what? They got friends at school. Nowadays, people got cell phones at like in like the fifth grade, and I'm like, wow. Like we had a phone in the fifth grade when we grew up. There's a lot of more things that parents today definitely have to deal with than
I was
you know
watching this
our
show that
parents.
is called Catch a Predator. I don't know if you have ever seen it. That it's like, I guess, people like from the public that I guess they had an issue already and they just want to go out there and prevent that, and they catch a predator and they put them in the spot. I was watching one that a dude was telling the little girl that he wanted to meet her at Walmart, and he was saying that it was a young kid. So, like I said, it was the predator, the catch of predators. They went
Uh,
up to Walmart, and he was like, I'm waiting right here in this aisle. I'm wearing these clothes." But he was not expecting the other dudes to come in, and they put him on the spot, taping them. And some of them were undercover cops. Some of them were like teachers. Some of them were like football coaches. Some of
uh,
them were like priestess. Some of them were like people that you would not even expect they will be doing that.
yeah,
It's
that's true.
crazy. It's scary.
It is scary out there. It's a crazy world out there. There's so many, different type of people out there, that does weird things like that, which is weird. But like I said, if you raise your kids right, you keep them alert, you monitor what they do. I really don't like the whole messaging thing, But like I said, like it's so hard to,
Especially like us. You know that we didn't have our phone when we were like 15, 14.
yeah,
Shit. Now kids are access to phones around 11 years old. My daughter
yeah,
had her first phone when she was 9.
yeah.
And that makes it more easy prey for people like that.
And it's like you're doing it to try to help out and have more communication with your
Yeah.
kids. But at the same time, you're giving them more, communication to the outside world. You know what I'm saying? Like to like a lot of things that you can't control. Because once you open Pandora's box, you can't control it. You know, we try as parents to do our best, but I'm pretty sure any of you guys probably had that moment. Their kids got one when you did see something you didn't like in there. I'm not saying it had to be something extreme, but it's just definitely something that's probably alerting that made you react a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? Like I definitely do it. Even like, it's not even just your phones today, it's your computers, it's your game systems, you know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
every single game nowadays got chats and
Yep.
you're talking to them live. Like I had to cuss out some little boys before playing Fortnite with my kids. It's like, come on, really? Like, really? Don't get beat up. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get beat up.
Yep.
Like this is a little girl. You need to talk like that on this gaming system. So it's like, and then when you start really like locking down on it. Now the kids looking at you like, "Dang, you're such a buzzkill. You know, you suck."
Hmm.
It's like I don't care. I'm your daddy. You gonna deal with it? You
You know
know.
how many people, how many kids have been found dead because these predators will be calling, "Oh, I'll meet you over here," and they end up killing them and raping them and throw them right there.
Facts. Facts.
It's just crazy.
It's a crazy world out there, man. You know, you gotta watch
Exactly.
out. You know, like people always get so shocked when they hear about these like weird things that happen.
But
Like
it's reality. You
it's
know what I mean?
reality, you know, that's always going to be there. They're always going to be there, and you know, with society and the way they push sexism and you know, all these type of topics and issues, it's like it's going to always be here, and it's going to get more intense, more intense. Like, you know, you go back to the days where everybody walked around, you know, naked. It wasn't like a time where like you know, none of that was like a big thing. You know, it's something normal. So you really didn't get sensitive. You were really sensitized. You were sensitized to it, so it wasn't a big deal back in those days. You know, like, but now it's like, you know, it's like everywhere, and they're like pushing you to sexism and you know different types of sexism. You know, be gay, be straight, be, you know, be both, be. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so much out there that, especially if you're old school, I know a lot of old school people. We kind of have the same upbringing. We kind of been around the same type of parents that keep us pretty, that were pretty strict and kind of lock in on what you do. And like you said too, we didn't have the technology back then to even do some of these things. So I think that's one thing parents, new parents especially, will have to really worry about and make sure that they stay up on game with, is
Yeah.
understanding, you know, what is really going on. Because I don't like TikTok. I don't ever be on my TikTok. I don't care about Snapchats and all these other little things they
But I
have out there.
mean, one thing is us, we grown ups, you know what I mean? We know, sometimes we don't even know the better, you know, even from good to bad. We
Yeah.
fuck up sometimes and we're
Oh,
grown ups. But
yeah.
imagine little kids that really like are innocent, they really don't get, they can get manipulated easily. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That's the problem, you know.
How do you feel? Because I know another really hot topic when it comes to kids is discipline. Like, how were you raised first? And then two, like, how do you raise your daughter in terms of the discipline? When you know you got to do something about something. Are you more of the punish in the corner, or do
Well,
you
that's
whoop ass?
submissive.
'Cause I whoop ass. You know, I don't give what anybody say. I'm from the old school. And you mess up, you gonna feel it. And he gonna feel it. But
You know
how
what?
do you,
Like, I never had hit my daughter ever in my life, to tell you the truth. Because I feel you don't need to be, you know, aggressive to be able to show discipline. I feel that your kids, just by the different change of tones, they already know what's up. You know what I mean? And that's the authority that you have. You don't have to be able to touch them like that
well, first off,
because,
before you continue this story, did you get whoopings growing up?
oh, that's why I don't ever touch my daughter, because I used to be whooped with everything and anything. The hangers, but the ones what not only the hangers, the
Extension
metallic
cords?
ones, the wire ones,
Yeah,
those ones that hurt really bad. The belt, the leather belt,
right. The
okay,
switches. Go
the
pick the switches off the
cable,
tree. I got an
the,
old school country daddy. Like, go get the
yeah,
big
the
switches.
cable from the
The
TV,
cable.
yeah.
That's crazy.
You know, yeah, it was really bad. I grew up with that type of
But do
punishment
you
whenever I
think
did
like
anything
that pushed you
wrong.
to the point where you like that's why you never hit your kid at all?
Maybe that's why. Maybe
You
that's
know,
why I'm the way I am with my daughter, because I always said and I always promised myself that whenever I have a daughter or I ever have a kid, I will never hit them. And that's why my daughter knows that I'm like the cool mom.
right?
But
See,
whenever she does something wrong, my tone changes more strict and she knows she fucked up.
right,
And then that's when she knows that she needs to pay attention. And I don't have to put her in timeout. All I do is take her favorite stuff in the moment that she wants. Like she's into her phone a lot. She's into her Wii, the game,
oh
or
yeah,
the
the weed.
that
Ooh,
fucking game.
yeah,
Um,
addicted, addicted.
exactly. I take the more important stuff that she likes, that is her favorite stuff. That's how I punish her. And she gets her shit together. Trust me.
I guess
Why?
you know,
What do
like
you do? What is your
I
way
try
of
to be nice at
discipline?
first. That's my first. I always try to go in nice. You know, because like you said, I've been hit by the work belt. My dad's a security guard. He had one of them thick security guard work belts. You know, he had the respect paddle. He had make you pick switches off the tree, and like you think you get the right ones, and they're never the right ones. They always suck. You know, my mom was different. She was more like she'll slap the shit out of you. Like she
Okay.
had a heavy hand, so like you disrespect her, she'll slap the shit out of you, and it just be like that's it, boom, one star. You see one star in the middle of both your eyes, and until they come back to normal. So, but my dad, man, yeah, I remember one time, man, I got a whooping for so long. I timed it. I was like, damn, man, this guy still beat my ass. We went through the belt, the respect pedal, the switches. And I was like, who does this to kids? Like, who does this to kids for real, for real?
Yeah.
But I'm never really that extreme. Like, especially I'm a stronger guy, so it's like I always gotta control my temper because you don't. I'm very heavy handed, and like
You have a heavy hand.
yeah, and I don't want to, you're not trying to, you know, hurt hurt your kid too much, but you want to let them know, I'll try the little stuff, take things away, in the corner, turn off the TV, go lay
That's
down in
the
your
best
bed.
thing.
You
That's
got
the
to
best
shoot.
thing.
Some kids are just bad, man. Like
They need the ass whooping.
it don't work, man. I'm telling you, it don't work. And they laugh at you when you do it at the end of the day. Like you're doing it, they're just like, okay, 'cause they know they can do as much as they want to and only have to go lay down in their bed or only not be able to play on the phone for the night. 'Cause tomorrow, they're gonna talk their way into doing it, or the next day, like
But that's where the discipline comes and the authority comes. If they know that you're gonna get over it the next day, a couple hours, then they already know you more than you know yourself. So now they're manipulating you. You're like, okay, I'm gonna do whatever he wants, but I know tomorrow is gonna be forgetting.
or even after the punishment in general. Like for me, it's like I want to pump a little fear. It's kind of like you kind of use it on everything you have. Like when you get a new dog, like you probably punish it more when it's a pup than you can do when it's an adult because you punish it more in the pup so they understand and they can kind of fear you a little bit. Like, I want my kid to fear me a little bit, because you never know what point in their life they're gonna go through something, or if they don't really fear you, they're gonna say, forget what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna go do it. 'Cause there's things about my dad that's helped me throughout the life that I used to hate when I was younger, but it's more to pump that fear in me early. To now, it's like as an adult, I see why, and like I don't make those mistakes at all because I think about it in my head. Like I remember growing up, like, oh, I can't do this no matter what. Try being a gangster when you're young, but you're not going out robbing nobody. You're not going out doing that because at the end of the day, your dad will fuck you up, and you don't want to feel that pain. So you
Exactly.
kind of like work your way around it in your own way that I end up not having to do so much of the crime part, just do more of the fighting part. And that was whatever. That was my equal balance. I was like, all right, I'll fight anybody like old ass because I'm pretty sure my dad had beat my ass. So if I do what you're talking about doing, so I didn't do it. And those are things they kind of stuck with me. And like always, remember certain things like your birthday, your social security number, your ID number, and like things like that. Like that's really helped me throughout the time, growing up. You never know what the lesson is, especially as a kid. As parents, you got to realize the kid don't understand the lesson until after it's too late. You know what I'm saying? Until after you're adult.
But then you have to show them responsibility. You know, you have to start teaching them vowels too, so they can get a routine and they know that that's how life is. You know.
And I got a routine. You fuck up, you get fucked up. You fuck up, you get
Yeah.
fucked up. Now, like, cause I always feel like that method, like, there's people that take it to the extreme and there are people that don't do it enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? That want to whoop ass every second they get, or, don't whoop ass enough. I think you have to have a fair balance of whooping ass. Like, I don't whoop them every time they do something bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just not realistic. They're kids. They don't have their common sense in yet. They're still learning in life. They're going to be curious about things. They're going to try you on certain things. So you don't get a whooping every time. Like you said, sometimes it is just taking away their favorite thing. But there's
Yeah.
just certain things that's like it's too deep. Like you don't get away with that one. There's no passes on this one. So you already know what time it is. Like and then like I'm a type that I whoop you and I come back to you and I have that conversation. So I'm like the awkward parent. I whoop your ass. And then like 2 hours later I'm like, you good? Like
Yeah.
everything good? Like,
True.
you know why you got your ass whooped, right? Like as long as you can sit here and tell me why you know why you got your ass whooped, then I feel better as a person. and as a parent, you know what I'm saying? Because like if you can have a legitimate conversation with me and let me know that you know you fucked up, you should have did this, and that makes me feel better at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I didn't. It wasn't an ass whooping that wasn't needed. Like they knew it. Like I try to have that relationship with my kids to make sure they know why they get in trouble, when they get in trouble. They'll tell you before they get in trouble. Sometimes they tell them themselves. So, you
Yeah.
know,
That's
it's
why
a
you have like you talk to them once, you talk to them twice, and the
yeah,
third one it doesn't come a third one because you already know the third one what it means.
yeah. And that's what I see it. And then, like, well, like you said, taking away something is cool, but there's no memory towards of why that was really that bad. Okay, today I didn't play video games, or today I didn't watch TV, or today I didn't get to go outside and play. You know what I'm saying? Those are temporary feelings that you're mad that day. After that day, even if you don't go out the next day, it's like you already knew your punishment now, so you're just kind of going through the motion, trying to wait for that day to get off.
Mhm.
But an ass whooping, man, you remember those for life. I remember some ass whoopings. That stuck with me for life. That definitely, when the situation came up, I thought twice about it before I did it. Did the same mistake again. So,
Yeah.
I well, kind of, you kind of like you kind of scar them. You kind of scar them. Like okay, especially if it's something dramatic and big that you really want to put a precedent on. Like you did something that's no, like you don't ever want to see this person do this again. You know what I'm saying? You don't ever want to think. You don't want this person thinking about doing what they did again. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
That's where you later, like you make it a president, you give them a nice one. They usually don't. You know what I'm saying? Like there's different kind of kids out there that do. But I noticed like it might take a couple times, but you get them good a couple of good times. That's one thing, one less thing you have to worry about moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Gene's probably know about some ass whoopings because he definitely got a couple of them in his day.
Yeah, yeah, that's
But
true
it's part of
too.
life too. It's part of growing up experience thing. See how much your kid's gonna test you from the moment they come out. You know, from the moment they come out, you don't really realize it, but they do. They test you on everything. And they want to see how far they can get. And they're gonna always want to push that lever. Until they're 18 and they move out, and maybe even then after
So
they
I
move.
have a question for you. Now that you have so much experience, you have 5 kids. Would you want to have more, or you
Yes,
think this is it for you?
yes. God put me here to make more beautiful creatures, and I always say my theory is like this: as long as I can afford them, I'll keep having them. And it doesn't really change. Look at maybe a meal, you just spend an extra $5 if you go eat out. You know what I'm saying? Like you might spend an extra like $3 on that pack of meat to make sure you have enough for your
Yeah,
kid. You know what I'm saying? Like clothes wise, maybe instead of buying your kids like school starts and you used to getting when you only had one, you get them like five, six, seven, maybe eight outfits. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that now you're all getting four. You're all getting five. 4 or 5. Enough for that first week to get through, and then that's about it. Like it's just little adjustments, like until, but it also motivates me as a parent to continue to thrive, to continue to go after my dreams, to continue to keep pushing, to continue to make more money. You know what I'm saying? Like those are things that you can't. I feel like before my first kid, like I've always been the type that can make money. Like that's just always been my thing. But at the end of the day, it was always like when I had that first kid, a whole new level opened up. Like, because not just about
really,
you.
girl, it's like it's easy for you to stay. You don't have to be. You don't have to carry them and push them out of you.
I remember when my mom first put her hands on me. She said, "Easy for you to say you don't have to carry them and push my." Yeah, I get that, but guess what?
But there's a lot of women that are willing
Girls
to do it.
always say that part, but I always go, "You don't have to push them out." But at the end of the day, you got to deal with them for 9 months.
Would
You
you
know,
be
and that's a
open?
mental stress as itself. Girls are
My
crazy.
question is, would you be open to get a surrogate to carry one of your babies if you want? If your woman will be like, I can't do it no more, but I want more babies, but let's get a surrogate. Would you be able and open to do that, or you're like, oh hell no, you're the mother, you're my
You
wife,
asking the
you're the
wrong
carrier.
person. Like you
Deal
need to
with
ask
it.
your mother that. Would she be okay? The girls are usually not okay with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, that's part of like when you're in a relationship, you finding things out about the person. You know what I'm saying? You're seeing
Or
like
you
what.
think that's for the people that really cannot have babies at
Yeah,
all?
that's more for like the people that can't have babies. Like when I was in that situation I told you about, there was a point where it's like, I know I want kids. Like that's not a question. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
She wanted them, but like,
she
I
couldn't.
know. But yeah, you just find the one that wants as many kids as you, I guess. And as long as you got that, you keep having them. You keep having them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why you wouldn't want to have kids. Like kids are amazing. They do so much for you. Like I said, the motivation, the more you have, the more you gotta do, the more fun you have, the more different people you know what I'm saying? Like I told you, each one of my relationships with each one of my kids is separate, and it's just like it's a kind of awesome feeling. Like we know, you got them all together. You kind of like, okay, well, you do this with this one, you do this with this one, you do this one down, and it's cool that not to have the same thing. Like, imagine if you had like multiple kids and they're all the exact same. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know, I feel like that might get a little boring sometime. You know what I'm saying? Like, they only want to do the same things. Like, I like seeing them talk about, oh, I like doing this, and you don't like it. Oh, I like doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, so different. Yeah. They're their own persons. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I think we all try to be our own people. Sometimes you get lost trying to be someone else, and that's one thing I don't think I'll have to ever worry about with my kids. It's them trying to be someone else more than
So,
you know.
what advice would you give the new fathers that are gonna become, for the first time, don't have no kids, they're gonna go through the first experience? What would you recommend, or what is the advice that you will give to them?
I would say be patient. You know,
Patience is the key.
patience is the key, and learn to have some form of balance when it comes to like emotions. Because you could be with your girl for like 10 years and say she just got pregnant, like you're about to meet a whole nother person. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not the same person. On some days it will be, but especially that back stretch of the pregnancy, you're gonna meet a whole nother woman. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like be caring for them, be there for them. Get them what they want. It's easier to just do and instead of argue or try to figure out why or
Mm.
because it's not going to be in your benefit. Pregnant women got strength too. They're crazy. They might just snap off and hit you out of nowhere. You think, whoa, what the
It's
heck?
the hormones. There's all these
Yeah,
change
the
of
hormones are
hormones that
going
they're going
crazy.
through.
And so, like, be patient with them. Try to cater them. Take care of them. Make sure they're comfortable all the time, and enjoy the moment. Whether it's one of them babies where you weren't prepared for, or it's a baby that you were preparing for. At the end of the day, just enjoy the moment. Like I'm that guy that got the camera. Waiting or see the crown of the head. I'm right there with the camera, like, let's go, like, let's do it. Once you come out already, I want to record this. And I remember the first baby I had, I got in trouble for putting it on the internet. Um, I ain't got my cooch all out in front of the public like that, but I wasn't thinking about that at the time. I was just thinking of, there's a lot of my friends. I got a lot of friends. There's a lot of them that live different places that couldn't be here today, and I would like them to experience it with me. So that was the first mistake you learn. And never think you're gonna be a perfect parent. Because there's no such thing as perfect parents. We all have our mistakes. We all have our flaws. Just try to be the best parent you can for your kid. Sometimes they're gonna think that you're a dick. Like when you're just parenting, you're doing your best job at parenting. You're trying to make sure that they have the best life they can, and they're not gonna agree with it. Like there's gonna be emotions. Like depending on what kind of setting you are in. I deal with, having kids that I'm not with every day, as opposed to having kids that you are with every day. You know what I'm saying? Like when you got that balance, it's like you gotta learn to just stay balanced. Don't take anything too seriously, but don't take anything too lightly at the same time. Like there's gonna be things said, especially if you're not with them on a day to day basis, that gonna make you feel like shit, and you're gonna be mad about, and you're gonna, want to be mad at them about. But at the end of the day, like they're still kids, and you gotta realize
What
that.
you recommend? What about for the guys that don't have no kids and they don't want no kids? Do you recommend them to at least experience that? Having at least one child to know what it is, true love from a
Kind
human
of
being.
a little bit, but at the end of the day, I feel like if you don't want kids, man, don't have them, because that's
If
when you
you're not
see these
ready, don't have
crazy.
them.
You kind of have these crazy parents out there that end up having them and doing stuff to their kids. You know what I'm saying? We've seen a lot of crazy stories out there. Where people
Mhm.
doing some all kind of things to their babies, and to me that's really sad. Like, I don't know. Like, we had our conversation a couple weeks back about abortions and things like that. Like, I'm not down with none of that stuff. I don't care if I was doing something I wasn't supposed to, and you just got pregnant. Like, I'm gonna be there as a dad. Like, that's still my baby. That's still my blood. Like, regardless of the situation. And sometimes people, like, I know people that let the situation control their relationship with their kids, and that's just never okay for me. I always say that no matter what the situation was, whether you're ready for it or not, whether it was a pop up baby or you planned it forever, it's like always be there for your kids, and never correlate the woman with the kids. You know what I'm saying? I used to know friends that like, have you seen your kid? How she been? Like, oh, their mom being a bee, and she ain't letting me see it, and I don't care. She got to deal with it, whatever. No, 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 no.
Mhm.
Still your baby at the end of the day. And don't
Yep.
ever let the woman, because women are the devil. I say that.
Yeah,
Like they
that's
are.
true.
And they will make your life hell if you let them. But don't let that relationship control the kind of relationship and bond you have with your kids. You got to sit back sometime and think about, what's more important, me kissing her ass to get to the kids, or like just me making sure that I connect with my kids on another level. Like, I
Hey,
don't
but
ever.
there's some women and there's some men that are super salty.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yes.
They take the anger or
No,
whatever issues they have with the parents, with the kids, and they don't let you see your kids, and they don't want you around their kids, and they want to act like the victim, and they
like
try to
they
blame
just
you that you're the one who don't want to see the kids.
that's one thing. I'm glad you say that, because that is one thing I want to tell parents. You might think it's forever right now, you and your significant other, in terms of when you're having that baby, because everybody getting that mode. Like I said, unless it's like a one night stand thing that you guys really obviously know you don't want to be together, but you're gonna have the baby just to have it, whatever. Unless it's something like that, like usually you're in a relationship too, or you at least got some kind of situation going on. If you're in that situation, you might think it might be forever, but don't ever let the babies control that. Just because you have a kid with someone doesn't mean you got to be with them. I would say don't do that. That's a bad way to look at it, and a very bad way to go about it. Just because you guys have a baby together doesn't mean you have to be together. Doesn't mean you're compatible for each other.
Yeah, because that's traumatizing and a damage you're doing to the kids, not really to the parents. If you're trying
Yeah.
to be salty for the parents or trying to get at that person, you the only ones you're hurting is your own kids.
Yeah, and my mom really taught me something growing up too. She was always like, I get my heart broken. My dad says he's gonna come by, won't be by, or something like that. And she's always like, I seen her parents like talk about their kids' fathers all the time to the kids, like your dad's a dick. He doesn't wanna. He's never gonna love you. He's never gonna provide for you. He's too busy with his other family. Just hateful things to, age. Or try to mold your kids into a certain way. Where they're having to think, oh wow, my dad really did this to my mom, really. Oh, maybe I shouldn't like my dad because he did this thing, or even vice versa. Mom, dad's doing it to moms too, and my mom always told me, man, you're gonna grow up and you're gonna understand your dad. You're gonna know your dad, and I'll let you make your own decision about your dad. I'm not gonna be the parent that no matter how much of a dick he is, no matter how much he fucked me over or whatnot, I'm not gonna be that parent that like talks bad about him. And I will say like my mom never talked bad about my dad like ever. And I know, being an adult now, you hear the stories, you learn the stories, about the past, so you kind of know what went down. And I'm like, wow, you could have ran him through the dirt, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all could have been really fucked up back there, but they did. Like they never did. Like they always just kept it neutral. Like you
Yeah.
learn your own stuff. You built your own interpretation of your relationship with your parents as you want to. And I will always say like that. I respected that the most for my mom, like doing that for me, because all the things she did say in it when I was younger, probably most of them did come true. I'm saying, like in terms of like he's gonna shock you, because I was really that daddy's boy. Like I always wanted to be with him. I always wanted, no matter what, he could never do wrong. Even though when he was doing wrong, it was never wrong. Like okay, well he got me this time, or we're gonna get it this time. And we used to go long stretches without even seeing each other. So it was like one of them
Hmm.
things where it's just like you always with the daddy boy, no matter what. But don't worry about all that. Just worry about doing the best you possibly can for your kid. Don't work too much. That's another big thing I think new parents should really think about. Like I found myself like wondering what my dad was like. He always worked. He had like three, four jobs, where he's like you'll see him for maybe an hour every day when you lived with him. Like 1 hour, and that's like him tired, about to go to sleep, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just like you don't see very much of him, so you don't really have a relationship with him. You don't. You just kind of have like, oh, that's your dad type relationship, and like for me, like as you get older, you can always replace money. You can never replace time. Like I kind of understood things like why he did certain things when I got older, and like he did try. When you think he's not trying, he was really trying, and like just a
Yeah,
whole
a lot of people don't give props to the father, you know what I mean?
yeah
Because the woman is the one who stays with the kids. So there's a lot of people that always think that there's deadbeat, fathers when that sometimes is not the case. It's just that they're
yeah
not allowed to be there for the kids. That's the difference.
yeah. And I would just say women too, like 'cause I know when guys move on for some reason, it seems like we kind of just move on. Like it is what it is. But I know one women, especially if they're really in love with a guy, like they get a little bit more emotional than us about situations. So I would say this for even if you are an emotional woman, like don't ever keep your kids away from their parents. If you got a man, rather
Well, some
regardless,
people just do it for revenge, not even for love.
but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's not legit at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause the relationship, the kid and the father or the mother, whichever way it goes, their relationship is their relationship too. Like, as much as I like to keep my own separate relationship, I think my kids have their own separate relationship with their parents. And I think they need it. We're not the same parent. You might look alike or you might think alike in a lot of situations, but you're not the same person. You have different beliefs. You have different things. I used to get in trouble all the time because I didn't believe in Santa Claus. I didn't care if I told my kid about Santa
Um,
Claus, but like the mom be like, "Oh no, Santa Claus real," so like you get in trouble for like telling them the truth. You're like, "No, there's no Santa Claus. I'm your Santa Claus. I go out and I buy your stuff. I work hard for you to make sure I get your stuff
yeah.
on the holidays." But there's so many different things, and like just don't judge other parent in that situation.
Hmm.
You're neutral, and let them make their own decisions. The kids will tell you. Kids, especially with all the technology, kids today are a lot smarter than
Exactly.
we were back in our day. Just for some fact, they have access to so much more. They see so much more. They experience so much more than we even could imagine is in. Like some, they know stuff that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? They be like, "Dad, you heard of this?" And like, "Oh, this how you do it," and all this. So I'm like, "What the hell's going on? I don't know where you get this from." Like, but it's cool. And enjoy it, embrace it. Learn with your kids. Try to be more active
And
with
like Philly girl was saying, I always tell people that children will be eventually grow up. They will remember, don't be the demon parent. They do see what's happening sometimes, but they don't want to say nothing either
facts.
because yeah,
Facts. And then
some
that's
kids don't want to say nothing because they don't want to go against their parents or the one who's raising them, but they see the truth.
or they like raise them their whole life with a lie. That
Exactly,
made them choose a side, and then when they get adult, they find out they actually talked to the other person. And they realize that was totally a lie the whole time. And now you're thinking about
exactly,
what shoulda, woulda, couldas. That's why I always say
exactly.
like keep it respectful. Don't ever fight in front of your kids if you can. If you can resist it. If you guys are having a disagreement, wait till you get home. You're in your own
Don't fight
private.
in front of the kids. That's the
Yeah,
worst thing you can
yeah.
do.
Don't fight in front of your kids. And just love them, man. Like I love kids. I love loving my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like they're so.
Yeah.
They said they're all little parts of you. Oh, you can see that one has this side of you, and this one has that side of you. Like, yeah. There's some things that maybe they don't agree. Well, my boy is like, oh, the girls like him. I'm like, yeah, he's just like your dad. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of vibe with certain parts of them, and just like enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Always try to come up with neutral, respected rules for your kids when you're having them too as well. You know what I'm saying? Like one might be 100% left, the other one might be 100% right. So you gotta learn to make sure your kids is both handed, especially in certain situations. It might help them out in the future being both handed. Like you do got skills. Everybody got characteristics and things about them that made them great, and maybe your significant other at the time have different skills that make them great. So don't shine away. Keep them motivated to keep learning every day, keep growing as people, and the sky's the limit for them.
Exactly.
So Yeah, man. How you guys feeling? I've seen a lot of comments in here about your kids. Um, what would be some advice you guys would give? If you can give like two main things, in your adult life that either learned from your parents that you didn't really agree on when you were younger, or just learn just from being a parent. You learn things on the fly all the time. So, like, what are some of those things that you might have that you can give for advice for maybe first time parents?
Exactly. A lot of people, relate to this conversation about
Obedience.
kids because either they're parents or their childhood. You know what I mean? So there's always an opinion and there's always something to say about this topic because of the fact that everybody been there one way or another.
Oh, I like that one, Philly girl. Said, "Let them be them at every age."
Exactly.
That is so true. Don't force anything on your kid.
Manipulate.
I want, like, trust me. I played football my whole life, semi-pro, college, high school, and when you have your first boy, you want your boy to do the same thing, to get a little bit farther. And it kind of does bum you out a little bit, but don't force anything on your kids. Like, my son, like, he likes football. He's not like all diehard about it like me. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever, Dad. He's like 8 now. He's like, yeah, but you did your push up. You getting ready. Like, nah, I didn't do my push ups. I was playing Fortnite. I'm good. Like, like he has other influences, but push him to stay motivated and active. But if it gets to a point where it gets out of control, we're like, dude, I don't like it. Don't force anything upon your kids. Basically, is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Like, let
Let
them
them
be
be their
them.
own persona.
They'll be their own person. They don't
Hmm.
have to be many use. That's not what it is. You want all these offspring, but they don't all have to be you. You keep having more of them. You'll find one that's like you. You know what I'm saying? Then they might find one that's like you in the wrong reasons. You're like, no, 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 not that. I didn't want you having those,
Hmm.
characteristics. But you go. It's life's a journey. Just enjoy it and raise these beautiful kids these days.
Yep, that's what it is. So, any final thoughts?
Keep having babies. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
Keep
keep
having.
reproducing.
How many do you want? How many do you want? When it's all
I just
said and done.
want one more. I just want one more, and I want my boy, or I want twins.
Ooh, twins. You
Yeah,
think you can handle twins? Now you saying that's double pain in your stomach. That's less breathing.
I think so. I think so.
You want to try it?
I want twins. If I can have two boys and twin boys, even better.
Hey, what was that comment earlier? And then you're not worried about your. Let's see here. Where'd it
What?
go? Hold on one second. You gonna pop it in here?
What? Which one? Are you pregnant? All right. What is it?
Is that are you scared to get pregnant in regards of your body?
What do you mean by that? I
Like, obviously you're fit, you're a Zumba instructor, you're out there
don't give a fuck
exercising
about
every
that.
day.
I'm almost,
What if
my,
this pregnancy's different and you gain 200 pounds? You know what I'm saying? Or 100 pounds or something like that. Now you're just this plump, like, are you
like I
confident
always
enough?
said, when it comes to being pregnant, you gotta enjoy your pregnancy. When it comes to eating, that's the time that you should be cheating. And then later on, you worry about the losing weight, looking back. Or I get into surgery and I get my body like that one way or another. I'll get my body back one way or another. But I want a kid. I don't care about my body. I just want a kid.
What happens if you have another girl?
I'll
Are
be
you pushing
happy.
are you pushing for another one though? Or is this one just the
No,
last?
it will be that's it. I
Only
just
want one more. Would you go as far as to, like, preventive measures like getting your tubes tied or something like that?
uh
Or you just want one more?
I
Or
just want, okay, my idea is to have a boy. But if it doesn't happen, I will get another girl too because I didn't get to experience a lot of things with my daughter like I wanted to because she
uh-huh.
lives with her father. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So because of that, I'm gonna have another chance to be a mother of a little girl. So yeah, I will get another girl. I will not mind. I just want to be a mother again.
Oh, you want to be a mom again? How
Yes,
sweet.
I do. That's what it is.
What's the biggest part you missed? Was it that just getting a chance to be the mommy? You know what I'm
What
saying?
was what I want, what I miss, or what I want is like feel the love of a baby, like feel the love of somebody loving you and wanting you and sincerely like just want to just love you for you, no matter how you look, how you wake up or whatever. It just he just wants you. You know, the love, the protection, the affection. I just want that. That's why I want a baby. I want a daughter. I want a
Like you
baby. I
talking
want
about,
a
you
son.
want it now. Like if it were to happen now, you're down with it.
Oh yeah. Yes. That's how bad I want it. Does my husband knows that? Yes. We're actually planning. Well, I mean, we're doing the homework. We're
You
doing the
putting in
homework
the
every day,
work.
sending the little
Putting
cards
in the
to,
work.
but it's not happening. Unfortunately, we need help because, like I said, I have a little bit issues of getting pregnant by myself, not naturally. So we're gonna get help. So we are planning a baby. So it might happen this year to next year.
What would you say to the other moms out there that want babies and can't have them? Like what would be your message to them? Like, what I'm saying, don't give
That
up.
relating to me, like that relates to my situation.
Yeah.
There's
I
some
know, you
that
had a
that don't
couple.
lose faith because sometimes it happens more late, more even though it's not happening now, it would happen because if God wants you to have a kid, with help or without help, it's gonna happen no matter what the time it is. But it is gonna happen. But the ladies that don't have kids at all, damn, I know because I was feeling that pain that I felt like I would never was gonna have a baby. So it feels really bad. It feels like you're not woman enough. You feel like something's wrong with you. You feel like your partner's gonna leave you because he wants a kid and you want a kid, but it's not happening. That he's gonna find somebody else that's gonna give him that. It's like a woman's self-esteem when it comes to having a kid. It is damaging.
Now you saying that, and that's good that you even brought that up. Like for those some people like that, like for those relationships that, yeah, you go into it, you with the girl, you love the girl, you want kids. You find out later after you guys are in love, you guys have been together like that. That person can have kids. Like, what you feel about the situation? Are you like, would you feel like you guys might need to break up, or because if the person really wanted kids, like, how would you feel towards that situation? Like, do you think
For me,
if the
like a
guy
woman,
were
I
to
would
leave you
feel.
for it, would you be mad about it? You know what I'm saying? Would that be an issue where it's like, okay, well, I want kids. I love you, but
Because
we
that
get
happens to men too, they're just not women. There's men that
yeah,
they can have
yeah,
kids.
guys too, yeah.
Yeah.
Shooting lakes, we call it.
Well,
Or how would
I,
that? Okay, since you say guys too, if you're with your husband and you're with this guy, you guys want kids, and what if you find out that happened? To be honest, that happened to me and my first wife. We always at the beginning, I thought maybe it was me the reason why. You know what I'm saying? Because I waited so long. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have my first kid till I was 29. So like we're talking about 26, 27. So you like, maybe I thought maybe it was, all these preventive measures made it to the point where now I'm
yeah,
not.
sometimes honestly, to tell you the truth, all these women that get to what is those pills that to don't become pregnant, like birth
Yeah,
control
plan
and stuff
B.
like that, that affects them later on when they try to have a baby. That really fucks with their system because for so many years they've been taking that all the insides of them gets fucked up, and that sometimes makes them not when they really want a baby. It's not gonna make it happen. It's not gonna happen because they already got fucked up with all these pills and all these treatments and all this
Yeah.
extra stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, especially with birth control, I don't recommend it. If it's your time, it's gonna be your time. But like even in that situation I was talking about, was like when we finally went to the fertility place, you come to realize, you think it's you the whole time, and you find out it's the other person. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause they're like, "No, Mr. Peterson, you shooting 1,000." Like, there's a lot of little active cells in this little sperm that you donated. So, at that moment, like, the girl kind of felt like, "Oh wow, it's me the whole time." Like, how do like, how do you think it will be the best
I
advice?
mean, I mean, there's adoption. There's other ways that we can have a baby, like adoption, adopt other a baby. But I feel like if I would adopt somebody, it will be a baby. I would not adopt a 5 years old, 7 years old, 10 years old because I want somebody that's gonna be like a fresh baby that doesn't know you, that you're gonna be raising them, that he's gonna believe that you're the mom. You know what I mean? I
Uh-huh.
don't have nothing against adopting older kids, but I think it's moving more harder, like
They already
to
have
have
their
the
identity.
attachment. No,
They probably already have their identity. I'm not saying there's no one that should be adopted. There's different people for everybody, but it's kind of like even with a pet, like you don't want a pet that you got from the parent that's fully grown. You want to be able to experience all of its life with it. So it's like there's no right or wrong way at all. You get what you get, but I'm just saying like
but also too, if
how,
somebody loves you, it should be not a problem if you can have a baby or not because he loves you for
but
you, not because if
that's
you can
actually
give him a
huge.
baby.
That's a huge thing, though. What happened? Especially when they see your face, like I want to have a baby with this person.
Like when when
you
you want a
having them,
baby
you
so
like you
bad.
can see it, like oh yeah, I'm gonna have the good looking kids, good look at me, look at the mom. You know what I'm saying? We gonna definitely have some really good looking kids. And that's what you want. And if it was a situation where it's like okay, well, we can't have any like. That would be probably something I would always say you have to talk about.
I feel like that would be devastated, no?
Cause it won't be like an immediate breakup. It'll be one of them things that maybe you have regret for years if you don't really talk about it and come to like one of those conclusions where we're gonna adopt or we're gonna have a surrogate or we're gonna do something,
Exactly.
besides having ourselves. But most girls don't want that. Like I know girls that, but no, your sperm's not going to no other woman. For no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just not what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna figure it
And
out.
then a lot of people are not even down with adopting either because they want their own blood. They want their own, you know what I mean? They're like, oh no, that's still not gonna be my blood. I
Yeah,
want somebody that's gonna
it is.
come for me and it's mine.
Yeah, like it is. How does that work? Like in surrogate's like it's the girl's egg and a guy's sperm, but inside the other woman, right? So I don't know. That's still kind of you still, but you probably will get some characteristics of the woman that is carrying just because of
Exactly.
you know. I don't know. That'd be an interesting situation. But I would say either way.
Surrogates and adoption. We should make a topic about that. Surrogates and adoption.
Yeah, exactly. And then even like too, like I said, I deal with having a son that has a disability. You
Like,
know.
look at my husband. Yeah, my husband says, baby or not, baby or no baby, I will still love my wife. Like I said, it's because when you love somebody, I mean, you want a baby of made of love with for each other. But if it doesn't happen, I think for you to leave your woman because she can give you a baby, then where's the love?
But do you think that the situation would be different? Like, say, you have your kid. If you guys went into a relationship where you guys already had kids, that might come a little different. I see.
Maybe
You know,
that's different because you already experienced that.
yeah, you already got a kid. Like, yeah, you might want a kid with the other person that you're with now. And then that's even different situations where like girls and guys be like, oh well, you got a kid with that person. Like, I want a kid with you too. Type jealousy that might come out. But I'm
Yeah,
just saying, like in general, like that's probably a different situation as opposed to like if neither one of you guys have a kid. And
yeah,
that's just something that you guys wanted your whole life. Like that would definitely be a conversation you'll have
yeah.
to talk about. And like, I would say it'd probably be challenging. Like I said, I didn't want the kids till later. And then when I did have them,
You think it depends of the relationship how strong it is?
yeah, that
To
could be
deal
different.
with this. If something like this would happen, it depends, or it will show how strong your relationship and your love is for each other. It's like a test for the
Yeah,
relationship.
yeah, I would think that would be definitely a test. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you guys gonna stay together now? Do you know the other person know that? But then, like you said too, like miracles do happen. Like sometimes that you might get told no, but in reality, it can happen less. Like even with my situation, like we were told that probably wasn't gonna happen. We had surgery. We were together for 7 years. Never happened. We tried it probably after the fourth year. It never happened. So 3 years later of trying, it didn't happen. But then like now, she has a baby. She has
See,
two babies now.
this is what I'm
You know,
talking about. That's what it is. Sometimes you're not patient enough, and maybe you were not the one for her to have a baby with. Everything happens for a reason,
there you
and
go.
and everything has a purpose. Maybe
Yeah.
for you, it was not meant for you and her to have a baby together.
Right. I
You know
agree.
what I
I
mean?
totally agree.
God has
Hey,
the plans for everybody, one way or another, good or bad. Even though it was good experience, bad experience, everything always happens for a reason.
yeah. And if you are a stepdad in that situation, always love the little ones because guess what? You
Yep.
know, you're part of the life. That's when. when you mess with someone that already has kids, that's a package deal. Separate from like if you're meeting single people without kids, you know what I'm saying? Like that's another scenario. When you come with someone, you gotta love the kid too. And as a parent, you should probably want somebody that loves your kid too, you know what I'm saying? Like, where they're definitely not gonna be a problem if you guys gonna be together. Because I know people that get in those relationships with, people that don't want kids, and then it's just like, oh, now you're expecting them to like love your kid, the kid, and do all these things. Not every guy's good, not every girl's good. Like, what I'm saying? They might put on the front, but at the end of the day, like, I know some people that are like, damn, you're a horrible step parent. You know what I'm saying? Like, whereas like they keep their relationship separate. You know what I'm saying? Like, like that's not my kid. My kid's right there, and my kids are tight. These guys, because it's not the
Yeah,
kid's fault. They didn't have to get put in any situations now. But if you're gonna accept the person, you gotta accept the kids with them, and make sure you love them just like they're your own kids. Like if they might not came out of you, but you know what I'm saying,
and sometimes
these are kids.
and then sometimes the step kids are the ones that take care more of the stepdad than the own kids.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of cases like that.
yeah, or the stepdad's better than your real dad.
Exactly.
Like, or a real mom. Like it happens just because the relationship you build, and that's each individual situation is his own. But you got to always look at all the angles, all the objectives. You know what I'm saying? Always think kid first. Is how I react. It's like it's always kid first. I could be done a lot of bad things to some exes. When they pissed me off and try to
Exactly. One
influence
thing that
how I'm
I'm
getting
so
involved.
grateful that at the end of the day, my husband being so good to my daughter and treats her so much, like spoils her more than even her own dad. So I got lucky in that way, because like you said, there's a lot of stepfathers that don't give two
Yeah,
shits about their stepkids.
yeah. And they don't want the obligation. They don't want the
Or
they
they
think
bother them. They get bothered by them.
yeah. So just like know it's a new experience you're in. Enjoy it, embrace it, but also be cautious. Keep a mind frame, build standards and goals that you want to reach with these kids. What I'm saying, push your kids. Let them be them. When they're trying new things, let them try it. It might, some parents are overprotective about certain things. They won't let you try anything, like nothing. They try to keep everything
Mhm.
away from you. You're not going to keep everything away from your kids. It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
Like but don't, if you see them in certain areas trying, push them. Let them keep doing. Sometimes I
exactly.
like to watch them. I like to, watch them fail too. Because I know that they're going to learn from that failure. They're going to get better. They're going to get
And
stronger.
also, you're there to pick them up like a
Yeah,
parent.
and you're there to pick them up at the parent. It gives you something else to be there for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not the cautious guy. I want them playing with bugs and, hanging out outside and not scared of, certain
So, do
things.
you consider yourself an overprotective father, or you think that you're a little bit like let him be, and you're just there to pick them up?
I'm 100% let them be. You know,
Okay.
Like, do your thing. I want to see your best. I want to see what you can come out with. Like I like being shocked by my kids. They're doing things that I didn't even think they can do, or even know that they had in them. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, that's awesome. What I'm saying? Like, I don't want to control the narrative of who they be. I don't want to control whether you're more like me or more like your mom, or what I'm saying, like you're more like anyone. I want you to be you. Take the best qualities from both parents and become your own person. Because there's going to be a little bit of you, there's going to be a little bit of them, and then there's going to be
Mhm.
the person that you guys created. So like, let that person show, like let that person lead the way, and be his own bright star in his life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
So
true.
well, it's a great show. We had an hour 40, man. Make sure you guys hit that like. Thanks for sticking with us, you guys. Hit that like, subscribe to all channels. All links are inside the description. Follow us on all of our social media platforms. We put out other content there. And like I said, like always, welcome. This show's for you guys. The real is for the people. And like, if you guys have anything else you guys want to hear us talk about, or maybe are important in your lives, or just good topics in general. Hit us up on our social media platforms and let us know what you want to hear from us. So we're gonna keep doing this thing. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep growing. We're gonna keep, coming up with hot topics, as Miss Mary Cruz like to say, and we're gonna always have fun with this. So much love to all you guys. Any last words for you, Mary?
Nothing. Just love your kids, love your stepkids, and give
Love
yourself
all
a
the
chance
kids.
to become a father or a mother. Because it's the best thing.
Yes,
Good or bad, it's the best thing you can ever experience.
Yeah, parenthood is awesome. Definitely
Yes.
embrace it. Don't be scared of it. There's always scared whenever something new happens in life, and don't let that make you make any kind of weird
And if you
decision.
don't have kids of your own and you have step kids, love them. You don't have to push them away. Embrace them as yours. If you don't have no kids at all, you really want it that bad, adopt kids because there are a lot of them that are willing and want a home.
Yeah. You can always figure out your problem in life. Figure out what you really want. Whether you have them, whether you don't want to have them. And make sure that when you're in a relationship, when you start a new relationship, you guys kind of talk about that. Don't wait till the situation come. Because there's even the opposite where people like were in a relationship they never want to get. They didn't talk about it the whole time. They're like, yeah,
Hmm.
whatever, kids. And then when it actually come, like, whoa, I didn't want that at all. Like you don't want anything to spook up on you about a person. Try to find out as much stuff as possible before you get into those relationships. Because having the kids is a teamwork. It's teamwork. You think you have one thing, and then it can turn south on you real quick. And in that situation, it kind of sucks, and you got to be prepared for it too as well. So, be open for everything and any kind of thing that can happen. So, much love to all you guys. Thanks for stopping by, watching the show again today. Like I said, hit that like, subscribe, and we'll see you next week. You know what I'm saying? Have a good one. We out.
Yes.
Peace. What is up, guys? Welcome to another